Hello, welcome to Creative Technica. My name is Pathasatip Mishra and I have brought you Android training for the beginner. In the last video, I have taught you how can you build your own Android APK. I have told you how to create your own activity, create your own change from one activity to another, how to download the software inside the Android phone and execute it. And also a small basic about how to debug your app by putting a debug point. In this video, I will give you a brief introduction about Android Debug Bridge, the debugging basics of the Android, how the Android software communicates with the Android device, and how can you create your own Android virtual emulator device. Suppose you don't have, as I told you, if you don't have the real Android device, you can use emulators, which are highly inefficient, but I will create your own Android virtual device, AVD, and run the application in that. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's get into the basics of Android debugging. So in the Android debugging, we have the three components. First one is the client, through which the user directly interact with the Android device. It may be a terminal or any console application like command line, from where you type your command line programs. And the second one is the Adb Server, and third is the Adb Daemon. Daemon is the process run inside the device, maybe emulator or the real device, which then takes and sends the TCP IP packets through the Adb server. You can see in our PC we have the Adb server running, and all the clients communicate through Adb through 5037 TCP port. Then those Adb server communicates with the devices, either emulator or Android device, through either TCP IP port or USB. Generally USB is the default mode of communication through the Android device. And also if it is an emulator, there is no physical layer, directly it communicates to the TCP IP packet. You can see the Adb daemon running inside each devices. The daemon now communicates with the virtual machine of the application, because at a time only one application you can debug. If you are debugging through Wi-Fi or any internet medium, then the TCP IP becomes the transport layer, and the physical layer we have either Wi-Fi or Ethernet. Then the mobile device, Android device which is running through Wi-Fi, now it receives the packet and the daemon extracts the transport layer TCP packet, and then it communicates with the VM running inside the device. You can see the Adb also communicates with DDMS, that is a Dalvik Debug and Monitoring Service. It's a kind of process which takes screenshots and other packetting and depacketting work from the JDWP. And JDWP, Java Debugware Protocol, it is the main debug protocol format. Means when you debug your source code, it has all the debug information, where you put the breakpoint, where you read the value, all these things. But it doesn't have any transport layer, it is just a raw debug information. DDMS adds the transport layer and converts it to the TCP packet and send it to the Adb server. And the Adb and DDMS, they communicate through 8700 TCP port. This is just a glance about debugging. Now come to the platform tools. First go to the location where you have installed your Android Studio. In my case, we have D drive, Android. Go to the SDK folder, your SDK path where you have installed. There is a called platform tools. Go to that platform tools. We have the adb.exe, that is actually Adb server. Okay, at present Adb is not running, we can check. If it is running, then if it is not running, it will automatically run in the background. So now open command prompt here. Let me connect my device through USB. Okay, so I have connected my phone. Now basic command to scan through all the devices is Adb Devices. See, it's starting the Adb in TCP 5037 port. Now see, this is the device ID and this is the device. And to go inside the device, you can go to Adb cell. Since it is one device, so we no need to specify the device. You can directly go inside the Linux cell. If for multiple device, you have to write -s, then you have to give the device ID like that. Since it is one device, it's not needed. Now see, it's just a Linux cell. Everything is there inside this. Just like you are scanning the Linux, which processes are running, for example PSA. Now see, this ADBD process is running. ADB, that's the daemon process running inside the device, which is communicating, which is actually reading and listening to the TCP port. Now you can go to, for example, SD card, DCIM folder. Now see, sorry, let's go to files. Okay, so let's create a file here. My file. Okay, now see, is the file created there? Refresh it. See, the file is created now. So like this you can directly do anything which you want. You can directly take remote access over your phone. There is one command called push and pull. I am exiting from it. Pull is to download all the files present in the phone, in your Android device. Push is to upload it. Let's see, I want to download everything inside the DCIM folder. So what I will do is ADB pull SD card / DCIM. Now see, it is downloading. Depend upon your size of that content, how many files you have, it is downloading everything. Now see, it came here. It will come in the same folder as your ADB is running. You have everything. Now see. Suppose I will create a new file. Write something, test file. Okay, I want to upload this file inside the DCIM folder. Okay, so for that you have to use push. Okay, now let's check what is there or not. Okay, that file is there. Let's see what's the content. Okay, so you can directly remote access anything here. Also, generally when you connect the ports, the odd number ports are generally for the TCP/IP communication. The even number ports are only for the emulator, the console. The console of the emulator, which is directly user is interacting, that takes the even number port, just like 5554, 5556 like that. And the odd number ports are for the TCP/IP communication, 5555, 5557 like that. So this is just a small introduction about how ADB you can use ADB. So ADB is really fun. It's just a protocol defined to remotely take over your Android device. So I hope you understood how this ADB works. You can also place a call in ADB. To place a call, you have to use ADB cell AM activity manager start activity android.intent.action.call and then dial the number, any number which you want to dial, and to stop the call you have to use Android cell input key event key code end call. Okay, let's dial something. Okay, now see, when I stopped it, it stopped. Like this you can do a call also or receive a call also remotely. Okay, so let's learn about the AVD, Android Virtual Device. So start Android Studio. So just let me load my previous project which I have used. Okay, so load the AVD. We have this AVD manager or tools AVD manager, both the same. I already created a virtual device. Let me tell you how to create it. Click on create virtual device. select one phone. Better to select as much low resolution as possible because it takes lots of time to create a device to boot it up. So I am selecting this medium density pixel per inch. Okay. As I told you, to do that you need to enable the SVM or the VTx in Intel CPU. Since I am using AMD CPU, the hardware virtualization is not supported in Windows. So even if you enable SVM in your AMD, it's still not supported in Windows. It will work only in Linux, not in Windows. So the option is, instead of in x86 image, you have to use this armable image V7A, this image. If not there, then you have to download. Please keep in mind. Though it will be faster x86, but it won't work. You have to use software emulation. It will be again much slower. Okay, advanced setting. I am selecting cold boot. And let me increase the RAM to 2 GB. Okay, let me click finish. It will initialize. Device is created. Now execute the device. It will take lots of time to settle off. Now this is the emulator console. See, the port is 5554 TCP/IP port. The debug ADB port will be 5555 by default if only one device is there. So I am forwarding my video till the load is complete. It seems it's already loaded now. You can see, you can get a same interface as your phone. You have all the installed applications here. This is the back button. Okay, and once your virtual device is booted, never power it off unless you need it. Better to close it. When next time if you run it, it will start from there only. It won't boot again. Otherwise again you have to go to wait for that much of long minutes of time. Okay. Okay, now let's execute our application in the virtual emulator. Click the run, select the device, wait till it debugs and installs our app in the virtual device. Now it's installing our app. Okay, easy. Similarly, you can debug the app also here. I'm closing it. I'm debugging the app. I'm putting the debug point here. Okay, now see. So if you don't have the real device, you can use this also, but it is very inefficient and slow if you are using AMD CPU. And even if you are working with multiple projects, please don't close this emulator. You can close Android Studio and open another project and use the same, attach the code to the same emulator, because you know how much painful it is. Now if you go to ADB, you can see ADB devices. You can see two devices connected. One is the emulator, another is our actual device. Same thing you can do to connect to the device only. Only you have to do the device name. You can also go to the same cell now. So this is just a glance about Android virtual device, how you can use it. You can see now how inefficient it is. So whenever it's possible, please use a real device. You will be more fast, more productive. So I hope you got a glance about Android Debug Bridge, how the debugging of the Android works, and how to create your own Android virtual device and execute your code using AVD, and how AVD communicates with the emulator and the device using TCP. I hope you got a glance about it. So in the next video, I will tell you about a brief introduction about services component. Just now in the previous video I used activity to teach you hello world programming. In the next video I will tell you about services. How can you use service, faceless components in combination with activity to create a very nice Android experience. So if you like this video, please don't forget to like, share and comment, and please subscribe to my channel. We will be right back to you very soon. Goodbye.